Ba-dum, bum, bum.
Windy pig, oh, windy, 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 windy pig.
Right, welcome back to Windy Pig's Content Garage of YouTube Garage Content Garage. Back on the 750 today. I think I'm going to try and start it up. So we found out these coils were shot, tested those, and I got a spark out of one, but not the other. And the caps are rough. A couple of them are really loose, so you can't get them to tighten up properly onto the leads. Can't change the leads on these ones. So I've just got another pair. They're already on the bike. I haven't wired them up yet. Tested them. So that's this morning's job. And then if it see how it goes. I mean, I don't know if it will actually fire because I haven't sort of done much with it carb wise. Although they are clean. So it should be interesting to see if it fires up or not. Before I get too far, and then I think we're going to rig the bike up so that I can lift the front end properly. My paddock stand, these have got quite big sort of cruiser style front 19-inch wheels on them. My paddock stand's a smaller one for sports bikes and stuff, so it won't lift it. So I'm going to have to think about what I want to do there. Probably lift it off the ceiling joists. Yeah, so let's get on to that. So first thing I've got to do is just try the wiring up on this. It's pretty rough, but also very simple. Single feed to each coil. That used to be a breakout for a dead switch. There used to be a switch here. You can see that, which would then just earth out the feed up the coils hidden under the tank. So it just never had an ignition or anything on it. Oh, and it did obviously when it had the battery, but not since the bloke I owned it. And then we've got two coils here, one here, one here. Just need a bit of wiring. I'm just going to cut these old. I don't like these old bullets. I'm going to put these that I like using on. They're a bit big, and a bit heavy, probably. People say they don't like the insulated ones, but I've always liked them, and they always seem to come up well. So I'm just going to cut these, rewire them. This is all going to take a But I think what I'll do eventually is, I mean, once I get this running, or I know it will run, I'll probably just rewire it at the bottom because there's not a huge amount of wiring it needs doing. So I'll just rewire all of it just to give it a bit of a chance to run reliably. I'm just going to strip these back a little bit. Two feeds. I've got my old crimp tool here. So these are ratchet crimp tools. This is the way to do it if you're going to do crimping. I like crimping. Some people solder still. Some people will twist and tape. Some people will do anything, but I like to crimp. I think it's the most reliable way to get this thing done. So that's what I do. I'll probably tape all this up. I've got some spiral wrap somewhere, so I'll tape all it up on the spiral wrap as well, just to make it extra safe. This is all pretty straightforward. I might fast forward this bit just because watching me crimp a load of wires up isn't exactly good content.
But I never guessed that you would take it too hard. No one ever told me that things fall apart.
That's that. First bit done. So luckily for me, these are all color coded. So you've got right hand coil is white. Is it? No, right hand coil is black and does 2 and 3, and the other coil is white and does 1 and 4. So let's Ah, man. Oh, you bloody idiot. See, I wasn't concentrating on what I was doing, and I've done this. Look. Now, put the wrong one on here. Bloody hell. Idiot. Rushing, am I? Just trying to rush and get it done. More excited about trying to fire it up. Silly idiot. Right. Try again. Of course, I never made a mistake. I did that on purpose to show you how easy it is to do this again twice. There we go. White on white. Shit. There you go. And then where's my two feeds? Two feeds here. Oh, it's still live. Oops. Be careful. There was no bloody fuse on. You didn't know. Right, I'm just gonna pick these up. Make sure they don't short each other out.
Won't you try?
This is just temporary, just to see if it'll fire. And then once I get it going, I'll build a new loom. I think from scratch, with all nice, smart bullet connectors and everything be nice and watertight and taped up and everything. But this is just a temporary. Oh dear. Temporary, just to see if we get a spark out of it. Right, that's that one. So let's see if we get a spark. Take this spark plug out of here. Take the battery charge off of there. Leave that for a minute. Bang a plugger into here. Let's see if. Oh, lovely. Let's see if I get that one. Lovely spark on that one. Good. So we know that coil's working. Let's get the other one out. So again. Yeah. Not a very bright spark on that one, but I'm not taking it over. Brilliant, but there's a spark there. Fine. That's grand. We've definitely got a spark on out of both those coils. So I'm just gonna grab the tool, spark plug tool for this, which I've got on the other bike, and then we'll roll it out, find some petrol, see if it'll fire up.
I can wait forever. I can bear the world tide. So it's come to this. Stood out in the rain, flagging down a cab, and I go home for a drink to numb the pain. I tried, I thought you tried, I thought you'd try.
It's all a bit bad news bears, unfortunately. So as you saw earlier on, I've got the wiring sort of half done. At least don't have to try it. Got some spark out of each of the plugs. I rolled the bike out the front. I had a few goes at kicking it over, and it didn't feel right. Felt too easy to kick over, you know. So it did try and catch. I did a couple of times. You could hear it sort of, at least at least one cylinder tried to fire. You could hear something going on, but nothing proper. So I tried a couple of things, nothing. So I've got the compression tester out and tried a compression test on it, and it's fucking low. But the 550, which I know has got some blow by, even that's reading 115 or so, and this was reading 55 or 60. That is really low. And that was on that was on 2 cylinders. One was 50 odd, one was 75 on the outer 2 cylinders. So something's fundamentally wrong in there. Fingers crossed, it's just something like stuck. All the piston rings are all gummed up from being sat still. So I've poured some engine oil down the bores, just because that can sometimes do it. Get the piston rings opened up. But it might be an engine out job, I think, or at least the head off. I don't know if you can get that head off that bike with the engine still in the frame. I'll have to have a look. It looks like you probably can. There's plenty of clearance on top of it. And once you had the valve gear all off, I reckon the head might come off. We can have a look. Might even be valves are stuck open, exhaust valves are stuck open or closed or something like that. We'll have to have a look. But that's a job for another day, and I've got to think what I'm going to do. Which is a bit, annoyed me a little bit. Anyway, that's one thing. But there is a victory. So I've had the compressor on. I didn't film the compressor on because it makes the loudest noise in the world. But I put the compressor on and push the pistons out of these calipers, and they are lovely. Look at these. When you got a bit of grip around there, but that'll clean up. Just a little bit around the top where the seal goes. But the let's look at the see on there. But they are shiny. They're lovely. Spot on, and it looks like new seals. So that's good too. Show that on there. Yeah, so that's good. So I'm pleased with that. So these calipers are going to be fine. I'm going to rebuild these today or tomorrow. I'll film that while I'm doing it. So that's the calipers going to go together. The my cylinder on the bike hasn't got any guts in it. See, in there, there's nothing in there. No, nothing. So, and that's a shitty old one. So, luckily, I've got a spare off the 550. They're both 5/8, so they should go in. This one's got all its gear in it still, and I think this will still work. I've just got to try and unseize these screws, which is a bit annoying. So I'm just going to give these a bit of a. That's not plus gas. Where's the plus gas? There we go. Plus gas. Spray. Leave them for a bit. Gonna have some lunch and come back and see if I can get those out. Where's my decent? They don't look very smart. See if we can do them now anyway. Let's have a go quick while we're still on camera. That was alright. It's a bit too easy, that. If one's that easy, the one's probably a fucking nightmare. Yes, looks like it will be. Pretty much rounded off, which is good. And see solid, good. Oh, there we go. See? Just a bit of thumping on it. And it goes. Lovely stuff. So that's that opened up. Ooh, crusty. Crusty. That's alright. That can go in the parts wash. And we'll have a... look at that. Crusty. But luckily it was left dry. So hopefully... Oh, yeah. That works. Oh, that's brilliant. So we're going to have a set of working brakes in no time. Lovely. So all I've got to do is just find a banjo bolt. Actually, I want to clean as well. So I've got to clean all this up, find some banjo bolts, put the pistons back in. Might get them clean up first, and then we'll go from there. Lovely. Right, lunchtime. I'll see you in a bit. Right, so while I was hunting about to try and find some banjo bolts, which I found, a bit rubby, but we'll get that cleaned up. I found an even better master cylinder. This one must have been off. I think this one must have been off my old Bandit. And I found an adjustable lever, which is nice. Put that on there. Might as well use it. It's been sat in the box for. I don't remember buying it, so that's quite nice. So that's and it's also a 5/8, and it's not as big and chunky as the old looking one. So we'll definitely stick this one in. First things first is to clean up this old banjo bolt. Well, it doesn't really matter too much to me. It's a bit rusty. As long as it's clear inside and no bits in it. So just give it a spray. Clean. Tried some bloody wire wool, but I can't find it anywhere. Maybe I've used it all up. I'll buy some more. But it tends to be a bad idea to use wire wool for this sort of thing, just because the fibres come off it, and the fibres get in the little holes and tubes, and the fibres find their way into the system, and then you end up with a. That's fine. You end up with a mess. You end up with a fibre blocking a hole, so that's not good. Right, that's the old crusty one. That can go. That's the old crusty one. Right, that's out of the way. Just two. I found another Mars cylinder as well. I've got stuff everywhere. I should really try and organise my life a bit better. Right, that goes on there. We need some O-rings, which I think I've got some down here. Yeah, little boxer O-rings. Well, O-rings are they there? Crush washers. What size are we going to want? These big ones, that'd be better. Why would you put them in like that? Why would you do that? Fucking hell. Big. I haven't got the right size, isn't it? Erg. We'll run these. I think these will work. Right. Run away. Pretty clean in there as well. It doesn't look great, but good enough for a bike. At the moment, it has a dodgy engine. Just get this through here. Do it. Those rings aren't going to do it. What a shame. What a shame. Get away with that, I think. This boot on here is making this job a real pain in the ass. Well, also I've got it around. That'll help, won't it? There. I'm a little bit upset about that engine. I suppose I didn't pay anything for the bike. I paid so little for the bike, I can't really complain too much about the state of the motor. But I paid the same for the 550, and that didn't have the compression issues. And I'll have to give Simon a ring and see when he last had it running and see if he had any problems with it before we put it in the shed, or why he abandoned it entirely. Oh, of course it's going to be too big for this. Right, get the other sockets out. Hang on. adapter. Just throw that across there. That's how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, it's no good. So annoyingly, as you can see, these O-rings are too big. They're gonna leave a hole. So I'm gonna have to not use them and find something else. I don't think I've got any others. It's just this, I must have used them on a different job project somewhere down the line. I wonder where else I might have something like this. Yeah, it's never gonna seal. What a shame. We'll keep them. They would have been used too badly. These would be perfect if they were a little bit bigger. If we were to drill them out. Feels like cheating. But if we did drill them out, it would do the job. Yeah, they'd be perfect. Do I draw them out? Going too far? Maybe cut them in it. Let me have a look, see if I've got anything else. No, we're not going to go get any. Well, we'll ban out then. I have to order some O-rings. I'll put that together anyway, just so it's all together. So I don't lose any of it. Now I found it all. Fucking come on. Fucking piece of shit, there we go. Little lid back on. But I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased to have a decent mice cylinder kicking around, because that saves me a lot, well, not a lot of money, but it's 20 quid I haven't got to spend, isn't it? The less I spend on this, the more I can spend on fixing the engine. Which we are going to have to do, I think. Right, let's leave that to one side then. Let's put these back together, I reckon. So, these are actually fairly clean. That's just so the dust seal. It's only single seal in these. Well, not a single seal, but a lot of calipers you'll see, you'll have two seals, one inner one which is for the fluid, and then an outer one which is for dust and grime. These seem to run on just a single oil seal, and then these sort of hoods to keep the shit out, which is fine. These are in good conditions. We'll put those back together. I think put it all back in again. As for these pistons, these are in great nick. I'm really pleased with these being as good as they are. I mean, they're a bit scuffed inside, but where the sealing face is, oh no, he says it's really good, and then there is a little bit of a just there. Look, see if we can take down a bit of emery. So that's going to be right where the seal passes onto the piston. Sort of feel it with your finger, which is annoying. I'd like not to be able to feel it. Let's go again. Shouldn't really do this with pistons. Might then just still fingernail it. That'll do, I think. Right, so that's good. Pleased with that. Cleaned up the inside of there. Doesn't seem to be any. When I blew it out with the airline, it blew a lot of shit out of the brake lines, which is good. So that's probably means they're fairly clear. But I'm just going to give this a wipe out. Yeah, clean there. That's nice and clean. And for building them back together again, I've got some red rubber grease. So this is the stuff you want to use. It's rubber safe, and it's safe to work with braking systems. It's called red rubber grease. for all hydraulic systems. I'm just going to run a little bit around the inside of that seal, just to keep the seal nice. I'm going to have a little bit around the edge of this piston, just to smear, 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 just smear around here, just a little bit. And then put that back in. You want to try and get this to go down as straight as possible, so it doesn't nick the seals or anything. It's not easy with these calipers because you can't really get to anything. That goes in nicely. Pleased with that. Get the little dust seal on. Pull that back out again. Oh, come on. Oh dear. See, I think that wants to sit in that groove, doesn't it? I think you want the top half on here. Bottom half wants to poke down through that groove there. And I wonder how you're going to do that. I wonder if you've got to put them in. I wonder if I've made a mistake there, putting that piston in first. That's annoying, isn't it? Get the piston, pull it out so we can get them back out again. Idiot. I have, since I last used it, he's changed it. There used to be a little wing nut on here. Do it by hand, but you can never get enough tightness on it. So I just changed it for a little nut, just so I can really tighten it down properly. Decent grip. It's better. Is it going to come? It's not, is it? Bloody thing. Right. Fire up the compressor again. Back in a mo. So I wonder if it's supposed to fit this first. So you get that in that groove. Makes sense, doesn't it? Does it make sense? Am I talking shit? Like I said, when I took these pistons apart before, that does go in there nicely. But I don't think you'll get that piston through there, will you? You're just going to put the whole thing through, isn't it? Yeah, it can't be right, can it? Definitely wants to sit in that groove. Definitely sits in there. So that definitely sits in there. And that bottom section definitely sits in that groove. So how do you do both? I feel like this is going to damage the seal. to get the book out for this. It's interesting though. So it definitely does. Definitely how it all seals up. Set this back out again, I reckon. Try it the other way around again. Clear out. Good. Right. So what do you think about this? So let's give this a clean and a grease. Slippery to get everything through it. It's nice and slippery. Let's get that in there. Yeah, you're never going to get that in there with the piston in place. I don't think. You bloody struggle. You're also never going to get the piston in there like that. This is a bloody mystery. This is a bloody mystery. I think we're right the first time. I think you just have to worry. I think I'm just going to do it and get a bit of wood, a wooden pole or a prodder, and just prod it all in the sides. Can't see how I should do it. Unless. We're getting desperate now. Try this. So we've got the piston on the skirt first. Get the skirt in. Oh, it's not very good at the minute. It's not very good at the minute. That's the answer, I think. So that's in the skirt. And then if we push this down, oh, it's not quite in the skirt. That's in the skirt. Right, now let's push this piston in as straight as we can. There we go, that's your answer. Look at that. We figured it out in the end, boys. Right, second one will be easy now. So where's the other? Where's the? There it is. Couldn't find it for a second there. So that's good then. So if you ever come across one of these again, the answer is you get your seal, dust seal. Clean it up. Put your piston on it. In it. Ooh, throw the piston on the floor. Pull the piston through the seal. Oh, too far. Like that. So you got your system like that. Yep. Skirt in your hole. It's easy when you know how, isn't it? And then push your piston in. What you do first is you remember to put some rubber grease and everything because you're not an idiot. Oh dear. Bloody idiot. Smear this in a bit of grease. Just a little bit, not a lot. Smear this with grease. A little bit, not a lot. And then you put your piston through. Your hands are filthy. Yep. Push your piston through. That's in there. Piston in. That's in. Lovely. 2 pistons in. That's all fine, all seals. My cylinder ready to go and I can get some O-rings. So that's another job for next week. And I reckon that'll do for today. A bit upset about the engine still not running on the other one. But I think next job will be, I won't fit these because on the front end often I have to check the seals and stuff on there. So next job is to loosen the bolts off the front end, get it off of the floor on the ceiling somehow, and then just check all the internals on those. I've got some seals here, or I managed to source some seals for the front forks. Never heard of a C-fan before, but apparently they're the right ones, so that's good. And we'll see how we go with those. So thanks for watching. This has been Windy Pig's Garage of Content Garage, YouTube Content Garage, and I'll see you next time.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Windy pig, oh windy, 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 windy pig, oh windy, 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 windy pig, oh windy, windy, windy pig, oh windy, 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 windy.